Hello everyone, I'm Amy Lindsay, publisher of AZ Big Media. Welcome to the 2020 Most Influential Women Celebration.
Sometimes you run out of fresh at the wrong time. Luckily, Fry's delivery and free pickup make it easy to grab what you need, so you can get back to being you. Fry's, fresh for everyone.
If this was any other year, we'd be sitting down at dinner with hundreds of people celebrating this year's 2020 Most Influential Women Honorees. Until we can get together next year and celebrate, we'd like to at least get together this year and virtually honor these women and give you an opportunity to get to know them each a little bit better. To get us started with the celebration, I'd like to introduce Lisa Sianovich for a toast to all of our honorees.
We are proud to be sponsors of the Most Influential Women of Arizona program. These women are groundbreakers, innovators, and the most dynamic leaders in our state. To get us started, I'd like to bring all the women, influential women of 2020 together for a virtual toast.
Ladies, everybody have their glasses? So again, ladies, we look forward to gathering with you next year. Just remember, there is always something to be thankful for, and the entire team at AZ Big Media is thankful for all of you ladies and all your contributions. Congratulations again. Cheers.
Thank you.
This certainly has been a challenging year, but today let's celebrate your success and the example you are setting for the future generation of leaders to follow. Cheers.
Thank you, Lisa. Before we get started, I'd like to say a special thank you to some of our partners that have helped make this virtual event possible. For our title sponsor, Audi Gilbert, Porsche Chandler, Volvo Cars Gilbert, Subaru Superstore Chandler, Subaru Superstore Surprise. Video sponsor, Fry's Food Store. Premier sponsor, Molina Fine Jewelers. And our signature sponsors and partners. Thank you. And now, to help honor this year's 2020 Most Influential Women, I'd like to turn it over to Michael Gossi, the co-host and editor-in-chief of AZ Big Media. Michael?
Thanks, Amy. You know, I cannot wait until we're able to honor the most influential women in person because it's always my favorite event of the year. And it's because you have such amazing stories to tell. Just this year alone, we have one woman who was the mascot at ASU. She was actually Sparky the Sun Devil. We have another woman who swims with the Sharks, literally. We have a crazy soccer mom who already has 2 yellow cards this season. We have another woman who used to operate a utility bucket truck while she was in college. And yet another woman who aspires to meet and have lunch with Snoop Dogg. Now that's an eclectic group of influential women. But it's not an easy group to make. This year we had more than 2,000 women under consideration before we picked our final 50 most influential women in Arizona. So without further ado, how about we meet the class of 2020. Megan Aker, Region Manager, JP Morgan Chase & Company.
I've been over 35 countries in South America, Asia, Europe, and every country and every culture is different. And I really believe that it has made me a more patient and empathetic person. And I think that translates into my work world because I think just more thoughtful and understanding with folks, which is just, it's allowed me to help them grow, help them look into the future. At the end of the day, we're all human beings and we're all trying to provide for our families. And that's how I approach every day. You never know what's going on in someone's life.
Anne-Marie Alamedin, President and CEO, Arizona Hospital and Healthcare Association.
Really the practice of meditation that I started about 10 years ago in 2010. And it's just really provided the grounding force in my life. I can start my every day with it, and it just sort of brings me back to center. Being in healthcare is very stressful, and there's a lot of different balls in the air. So the ability to get focused and grounded has been invaluable.
Susan Enable, Vice President of Public Affairs, Cox Communications.
I'm an avid hiker and runner, and I have been blessed to have a group of great girlfriends who are impressive professional women and wives and parents. And those friends I have run with and hiked with for 30 years in some cases. And it served as a wonderful mentorship and great sounding board, and it provides an opportunity for us to get together on a regular basis several times a week and to share professional challenges, share parenting challenges, and really has been a wonderful circle of support and mentorship from my friends, and all because we wanted to do something we loved, which was to hike or to run or to be outdoors. And so that hobby, that activity has really done more for my professional career and my personal life probably than anything I can think of.
Ginny Arnett Caro, Senior Vice President, Copper Point Insurance Companies.
It's serving others, helping others. Throughout my career, from the beginning when I was a social worker to now where I'm in corporate America, I've been able to serve a myriad of people at all levels, whether it's micro or macro, and being able to serve on nonprofits is one of the greatest impacts in my life, and I hope that I have served the community well.
Tracy Bain, President, Freeport McMoran Foundation.
Women's empowerment. It's so important to me. It's a passion, and I'm really fortunate to work for a company that's enabled that and enabled us to step into that space and invest in powerful things across the world where we operate. We've done a great program on training women entrepreneurs that's reached thousands of women, and that's really fulfilling to know that you can marry a personal passion with a professional interest. And I think very much linked to that is my accomplishment around building a great team of professionals at Freeport McMoran, mostly made up of women leaders, and really to know that I'm not always the smartest person in the room, and that's a good thing. And I'm really happy when my team of largely women feels empowered to share an idea, to initiate a project, and to know that they will always have my support in doing that. It's really enabled a great, productive team that gets along really well and that feels empowered on a day-to-day basis. And I think that's when people do their best work.
Lisa Bentley, Partner, McCarthy Nordberg.
Would definitely be hiking or yoga. It's my hobby. I like the stock market too. It's kind of a diversion from the day, and sometimes it's so mind clearing that when you have issues on your mind, it's a good time to get away and think things through, take a step back. And it's mind clearing, and I usually come up with the most rational solutions that way.
Dr. Marjorie Bessel, Chief Clinical Officer, Banner Health.
So I come from a family of runners, and it brings so many great qualities to life, as well as just being in the professional activity that I am as Chief Clinical Officer. You have to have a lot of endurance. You have to be at it every single day, and you can never give up, even when it's hard. So I used to run in the rain, I used to live in Buffalo, New York, so I used to run in the snow, lots of other activities, injuries, fatigue would come my way, and the perseverance in that sport that you need is incredible, and perseverance to be in an industry like healthcare, to take great care of people, it requires a lot of that as well.
Frankie Buckman, Executive Vice President, The Molly Project.
I grew up in Scottsdale and had never been to a race or a motorsports event until I started working in the industry, and that led me to an IndyCar team, which led me to meeting my husband, who is also a race car driver, and now my grown son is a race car driver. So we spent a lot of time both at work and at home at the racetrack and or race events, and so I think I even learned when I was putting our kids through the RACE program and learned how the different facilities ran and how the different organizations ran, and I think I was able to bring a lot of that into each of my jobs.
Susan Chetland of Council, Birch and Craquiolo.
My career and the activities in which I have engaged outside of work have had an impact on one another. What I mean by that is when I first started out as a young lawyer, there were very few female professional role models or mentors. So throughout my career in the activities that I've pursued outside of work, I've tried to pay that forward by not only acting as a mentor to young lawyers, both men and women, but also by trying to help entrepreneurs, particularly women entrepreneurs, with the peculiar challenges that they face in the entrepreneurial community.
Dr. Kara Christ, Director of the Arizona Department of Health Services.
Professional accomplishment that gives me the most pride is being named Director of the Arizona Department of Health Services by Governor Ducey. So that happened about 5 years ago. And I have always wanted to work in public health, so that was kind of my dream job. So I would say that would be my most, my proudest accomplishment.
Before we continue honoring the most influential women of 2020, we're going to cut quickly to Molina Fine Jewelers for a special announcement.
My name is Alfredo Molina. I am chairman of Molina Fine Jewelers and Black Star & Frost, and I would like to congratulate the 50 most influential women in Arizona. I'm here in my office at Molina Fine Jewelers and Black Star & Frost, and I must say that if it wasn't for women, the world would not rotate. I always believe that if it wasn't for women, there would be no GMP, because men like their money in their pockets, as we all know. So I want to tell you ladies that without you, there would be no Molina, there would be no Black Star & Frost, there would be no market without the influence that you have created in this city and in this state. So we're here for you. I want to tell you a little bit about my story. My grandfather put me to work on March 2nd of 1967. I was 8 years old, and my mom would come every day and give me something to eat, because she knew that Grandpa was going to work me for over 10 hours at some times. So if it wasn't for my mother, she worked very hard. My father had a medical problem, and she was driving a Chicago bus. So I want you to know that without my mom, she made me who I am. I pray to her every day, and I'll tell you that thank you for creating all the great things that you do in the great state of Arizona.
Thank you so much. Hey, be sure to stay tuned to the end of the video, because there's going to be a special surprise. You won't want to miss it. Now, back to our honorees. Rebecca Clyde, co-founder and CEO, Botco AI.
The professional accomplishment that gives me the most pride is having recently completed the first round of funding for my company. And the reason why this is something exciting to me is because, it's one thing to believe in your own idea, but it's another to get other people to also believe in your idea and to give you their hard-earned money and to back that idea. And it's something that I really have come to appreciate and value in this making of my startup, Botco AI.
Barb Dawson, partner, Snell & Wilmer.
I love international travel, in particular, the ability to step into cultures and just feel what that feels like being in someone else's shoes. And that has really sparked a whole new world for me professionally too, because I've had the chance to incorporate that into my work and work with lawyers from around the world. And when you're able to help your clients solve problems a half a world away, it feels really good. And when you're able to do that through a network of colleagues, of friends, it's even better. It's been really rewarding professionally, and it's even been better on a personal front.
Kim Dees, Southern Arizona Retail Division Manager, Wafet Bank, Arizona.
I feel that my best professional accomplishment is the success of my team. I really get excited for my team as they work to reach their goals and accomplish milestones along the way. So it's really it's really refreshing for me and exciting for me to see them grow.
Kathleen Duffy Ibarra, President and CEO, Duffy Group.
So about 30 years ago in the recruiting industry, there weren't very many choices. You either worked with a contingent firm, a retained search firm, or you placed an ad in Sunday's paper. So I went out and I introduced a new model which unbundled the traditional search process and even a new fee structure, which was billing by the hour as opposed to a fee based on a candidate's compensation. And in growing that business, it really was around work-life balance, work-life harmony. And 30 years now, I've still been able to maintain that culture. I was one of the first companies to be a completely virtual company, so how ironic in this pandemic that we're in right now that really it's been business as usual for us. So I'm very proud of all that I've accomplished to get where we are here today with Duffy Group.
Brenda Ferraro, Senior Vice President, Prevalent.
Being in a male-dominant world has made it so that it's been quite a journey to be in cybersecurity, and I believe that with the outlook of women and female in the cybersecurity space is really critical and important. So I would think that that's one of them. Another one would be the fact that this month has been an awards and recognition month for me. So I received top 25 cybersecurity and influence of women here in Arizona, so that is a big, huge accomplishment.
Marshall Franklin, Director of Human Services, City of Phoenix.
It's the opportunity to be able to pour into individuals and then to be able to see the fruits of your labor after you've spent time either mentoring, helping them transition through something, whether it's personal or professional, whether it's something that produces a positive outcome or sometimes individuals are just struggling with life. The accomplishment is being able to see individuals get on the other side of whatever that it is for them and knowing that I've been able to contribute in some way to a positive outcome.
Adelise Jimenez, Vice President and Commercial Banker, Bell Bank.
I've been fortunate enough to work in all kinds of deals and some of them multi-million-dollar deals. And those are fun and exciting. However, I think that what brings me the most joy and pride are the small ones. Those deals where you know that you are changing someone's life. Like an example, I love to be driving around town with my family and be able to point a building to my kids and tell them the story how 10 years ago I met Dr. X, and when they were opening their very, very first location, their first medical office, and 2-3 years down the road, they come back and say, hey, Adelise, we have grown so much, we're doing great, and we have outgrown our space, and now we're ready for either expand or open a second location. And now from seeing 100 patients a day, now they see 200 patients a day. And just seeing the evolve and being a part of the evolve of a dream, it's great. And at the end of the day, I know that it has everything to do with the talent and the hard work of that client. However, I still feel that I am a little bit of a part of it and that in making that dream come true, and that's a very powerful and rewarding feeling.
Tara Grenier, Principal, Orcutt Winslow.
So I think one of the things that I find most interesting is just meeting new people, and I just love learning about where they're from, what their interests are, what's important to them, and it's just enabled me to have a really outgoing personality as well, and I've always been considered one of those people that are just good connectors with other people, and so I think that that's been one of the greatest things that have helped in my career path.
Marina Hammersmith, Senior Vice President, Orion Investment Real Estate.
So back in 2007, I was in charge of leasing up a 90,000 square foot medical office building, and we were very successful, and fortunately we were 90% leased when that building opened its doors. But what was really remarkable for me was the last lease that we signed there was 20,000 square feet. And I'll never forget the date. It was February 8th that I met the signing physician in his physician's lounge at 6:30 p.m. I was 8.5 months pregnant, and as luck would have it, we got the lease signed. I started having contractions while I was in the office, and went home, packed my bag. 5:30 the next morning, I went to the hospital and I delivered my son. So it was a pretty productive 24-hour period. So
Katie Hayden Perry, Executive Vice President, Hayden Building Corporation.
I've always loved travel. I've always been independent. And so when I graduated with my MBA from Thunderbird, I thought, this is perfect. I don't have kids. I'm not married. I'm going to take one suitcase, move to Madrid, and it's going to be great. And on the airplane, on the ride over, it was really great, and I was super excited. And then when I landed in Madrid and realized that I only spoke enough Spanish to be dangerous, I didn't really know where I was going to be living and didn't really know what I was going to be doing for work and had to figure it out. And I've got to tell you that I always say that humility is the key to success. That is an overwhelmingly humbling experience to be somewhere and have to figure it out yourself. So I really figured it out, and I found the ways to be self-reliant and self-sufficient, and I found a job, and I found an apartment, and I found friends, and I traveled, and it was just such a fulfilling experience. And I think that that year away, being on my own, away from the life that I've always known, really has shaped the person that I am today and the type of leader that I've become.
Cheryl Hayes, Director of Property Management, Wentworth Property Company.
Is my current role with Wentworth Property Company. In 2014, I joined to establish the company's property management division. It is a small family-owned company, and I was the first female employee at number 6. Since then, we have grown, and there is about 1/3 females at the office now. But again, taking that initial step was a little bit risky and gave me some anxiety. I had left the large corporate world in order to take this position, and since then have built the company's management division to nearly 3 million square feet and a team of 12.
Jenny Holzman-Tetreault, General Counsel of the West Region, U.S. Foods.
That I grew up playing all kinds of sports. And whether it be triathlon, playing softball, soccer, swimming, biking, cheerleading, dancing, or in my most recent past, serving as Sparky the Sun Devil at Arizona State, Go Devils. All of those experiences helped me to learn the value of hard work and dedication, what it means to set goals and work really diligently to achieve them, to be a team player, but to also know that you have others relying on you, and so you always need to put your best foot forward, and to also show at all times the humbling experiences that can make you be who you are today, and by that same token, being able to celebrate really positive successes.
Cheryl Hyman, Vice Provost for Academic Alliances, ASU.
There's one common denominator that stands out to me, whether it be in my civic activities, whether it be in my academic accomplishments, whether it be in my professional achievements, whether it be authoring a book, or whether it be where I am now, working with one of the most, I think, innovative teams in higher education. There's one common denominator that stands out in all of those, and that is I've been able to help thousands of young people prosper and do much better in life and help them achieve their dreams. I think that's what I take the most pride in.
Julie King, CEO, Harman Electric.
My second job, which is a fitness instructor. So I have been a fitness instructor for quite some time, since 2000. The training and the education and the way we had to go about the education was very outside of my comfort zone when I started. So it really pushed me to do things that were outside of my comfort zone and not be afraid to take risks. It allowed me to do some fitness competitions in the early 2000s. And that's just it feels great. It's something good that I look forward to having an outlet for the stress of owning a business and running a business. Working with my husband is very stressful, so having that outlet has really made me a better business person, and just knowing my limitations, and it really just makes you look inside yourself, all of the different trainings and being in front of people and having to be a role model for people immediately, right then and there. It just makes you look back and think, how can I apply this to my everyday business life?
Gretchen Kinsella, Arizona Business Unit Leader, DPR Construction.
So my hobby is exercise. I've always gone to exercise as a stress reliever, a me time, a compensation for being able to eat and drink whatever I would like. But as I've grown in my career, I've really gotten to see that it's a way that I do self-care. I find self-care very important for leaders, being able to take care of yourself first so you can take care of others.
Vicki Larson, Senior Vice President and Market Director, BOK Financial.
I'm really proud to work for a company that had an emergency plan in place that allowed us to quickly pivot and execute for our clients from the safety of our homes. My team has truly not missed a beat. I hear from them on a daily basis. We've gotten really used to WebEx and meetings there. And I'm really confident that we'll be able to adapt to any change that may come our way. I'm really excited about the opportunity that we'll all have soon, I hope, to come back together safely in the office.
Julie Lawless, CEO, Sparklight.
And I worked my way up. I held almost every position within a cable company. And what that has allowed me to do is really connect with frontline people and what they do every day and how important it is, and understand that customer centricity isn't just words. It's not just a cliche. It's really important to any business if they want to be successful.
Dr. Winnie Lang, Director of Scientific Operations, TGen.
So I really enjoy things like hiking, backpacking, traveling. Hiking when I'm traveling. So there's that aspect of being exposed to novel experiences, novel places, and being excited and comfortable with change. And I think that's really prepared me well for, as we know, especially now, things can change really dramatically and you really don't have control over things. And so being comfortable with those types of experiences and knowing how to navigate that, I think has been both beneficial for just life itself and also for my professional endeavors too.
Andrea Lovell, Shareholder, Littler.
Just my love of travel. I think it has encouraged me to improve my communication skills and allowed me to look at issues from different perspectives, as well as challenge me to get outside my comfort zone, where I think sometimes the best decisions are made.
Carrie Masters, COO, LGE Design Build.
Desire and drive to be better and do better really has helped me in every aspect of my life, from being a single mom to, again, my journey in my career with LGE, starting off as a single mom in my early 20s and working my way through the organization has allowed me to gain empathy for the different people and clear understanding of each individual role and what it takes to really do what we do each day.
Peggy Maxwell, Senior Vice President of Property and Facilities Management, Plaza.
Started distance running when I was about 40 years old and was told immediately, you're not built to be a distance runner, you're a little too delicate, you find something else to do. And from my perspective, all that meant was that I needed to work a little bit harder, I needed to show up a little bit earlier, and I needed to stick with it longer, and I could do anything. And I did, and I've been running now for 15 years, and I love it.
Jennifer May, co-founder, Two Sister Bosses.
I love hiking and mountain biking. In fact, my husband actually flies paramotors over Sedona. Sedona has been my hometown. I was actually born there, so it's my home forever. Our family has vacationed at Lake Powell for years, and Lake Powell is kind of like Sedona with water. And so that played a huge part in wanting to offer a unique kind of hotel concept where we flip the script on what hotel experiences usually are.
Christine Millar, Principal, Orcutt Winslow.
Relationships with other people, my family, my friends, my colleagues, whether it be enjoying volunteering at a school event or planning for a Taco Tuesday or a project pursuit. We don't design and build buildings. We design and build relationships and experiences. And so I think my hobby is people. So in my career, I've been able to use that hobby over and over and over again. I also think my biggest hobby is probably my kids, my family. I'm very proud that I was able to be a single mom with 5 kids for so many years, and now I'm a blended mom of 8 kids and a husband. So I think that's an accomplishment in and of itself. And so it's all of the things that I love and that I do day to day have contributed also to my career.
Corey Newmeyer, partner, Quarles and Brady.
I've always had a passion for theater, not just the art of it, but more so the craft of it. As a professional stage manager for several years before I embarked on my career as an attorney, I had the chance to learn an incredible skill set that has translated over. So I've learned about how to manage people, manage a team, how to bring people together to execute a common vision, how important prior preparation and planning is to executing that vision, and at the same time how to respond and adapt quickly and improvise when necessary as the circumstances demand.
Jackie Orcutt, Senior Vice President, CBRE.
From a young age, I traveled internationally as much as I could. And today we take our family and our young kids wherever we can throughout the world. And I think what is helpful in traveling is to gain perspective on how other cultures approach anything from, eating food and distributing it, all over the valley in the cities where they're locally from, or occupying space, whether it's industrial warehouses or other, commercial spaces, especially in environments that have been established for centuries upon centuries, and they've had a chance to grow into more of an urban metropolis than maybe Phoenix is today. It's nice to gain perspective on what the trends are, how it's impacted an environment that is more populated densely than Arizona, and maybe where we'll be headed as we continue to grow as a local market.
Deborah Pearson, Executive Vice President of Strategy and Brand, 1AZ Credit Union.
I've had an opportunity to visit all 50 states and 14 countries. Having this exposure to other cultures has greatly influenced how I think, how I act. I'm much more open to change. I'm much more adaptable. Seeing people has given me a perspective on what life looks like from a different angle. Travel for me is also the gift that keeps on giving, because I have all these amazing experiences to draw upon throughout my career.
Dana Pratt, CEO, Nutritional Brands.
Biggest impact on my career is I'm able to turn that interest into innovation, strategy, and vision for the success of my company.
Carolee Ramely, Senior Principal Attorney, SRP.
My husband and I decided to adopt our 2 children. They were older, they were in the foster care system, and so had experienced a lot in their lives. And when they came to us, they needed a lot of extra love and attention. And at the time I was working 60, 70 hours a week. It provided a real balanced perspective to my life, and it helped me learn to be a better time manager, to pick what projects I worked on, to balance between work and life. And I think that being a mother to these children and focusing on them helped me become a better manager at work when I'm managing people or engaging in teams, understanding differences, welcoming differences, and relishing the new challenges.
Jennifer Reynolds, Principal, Ideation Design Group.
But really, my family is my hobby and my interest, and that's where I like to spend my time. And then I thought about I could give you a lot of work-life balance, but as a designer and as a business owner, there is no such thing as balance. There's no balance there. It's about being present for me.
Regina Romero, Mayor, City of Tucson.
My father really taught me the value of what nature and the environment and what they signify and mean for the health of not just our environment but of individuals. And so for me, hiking and enjoying nature has really changed the way I look at things has made me value the idea of protecting our environment, that our environment is connected directly to the health of human beings. And so I have become an environmental advocate. I seek policy that protects our climate, that protects our open spaces, and that really has guided my policy and decision making as an elected official.
And Scott Timmer, Vice Chief Justice, Arizona Supreme Court.
And I remember vividly on my 3rd birthday, that was the first time I was going to get a bicycle and learning how to ride a bike. And I was thrilled. My parents presented it to me with training wheels, and I threw a fit because I knew in my mind that I could go after my older siblings and ride a bike without training wheels. Of course, they didn't think I could. They took it off, and much to their surprise, I got on, and away I went, able to do it. That seems like it's a fleeting moment, but it's one that always stuck with me throughout my whole life, that feeling, that remembering, that confidence that I can do this. I can accomplish something, even if it did seem insurmountable at the time. And I can't tell you, as silly as that maybe sounds, how many times through my childhood, young adulthood, going to law school, trying for new things and taking those kinds of risks, that I would still dig back down deep into that sentiment of I can do this, get over the fear and just do it.
Debbie Shumway, CEO, Hospice of the Valley.
My family, because my children have taught me so much, and I feel so blessed to have been a part of raising them, and then the mission and being around so many wonderful employees, just having that world where you're surrounded by people that want to give back. I just learn from my kids and my fellow coworkers every single day, and that is really what makes me so passionate about what I do.
Karen Stafford, Arizona President, Employers Council.
It has to be reading for me, whether that's reading the latest article about a topic that is of importance to me, or whether it's in regard to a faith activity or travel or leisure, all the fun things that I like to do. I think about ways that helps me see my profession and in a different way, in a different light, see it from a different perspective and put that into play.
Carol Stewart, Associate Vice President, Tech Parks Arizona, the University of Arizona.
Is this special little token of Lego Wonder Woman given to me just a few months after I arrived by one of my directors, one of my professional staff. And it was given to me because I allowed the team to really spread their wings, empower them, and we are doing great things here in Southern Arizona.
Lauren Stein, partner, Quarles and Brady.
I grew up playing a lot of team sports, softball, volleyball, basketball, from a young age up through high school. I learned how to play as part of a team, how to work with others, develop into a good teammate, and eventually into a leader. And those skills have stayed with me throughout my career, and they've really enabled me to become a good manager and a good leader of my team.
Tricia Talbot, Managing Director, Newmark Knight Frank.
Obviously, as a real estate broker, my largest transaction in 2015 gives me a lot of pride. It was a sale for integrated medical services, 400,000 square feet, 4 office buildings, 4 medical office buildings, and it was $144 million in size and about $350 a square foot, which at the time was the highest price per square foot for any medical office transaction. But in another perspective, I'm very proud of my 16-year business partnership with my business partner. We just celebrated that in April, and I think that together in those years we've celebrated a lot of successes, many challenges, but we both individually and as a team have become more resilient as a result.
Colleen Tebrake, co-founder, Two Sister Bosses.
So having my real estate license for 20 years, we would go in and find the unsightly house in the neighborhood, buy it, gut it, fix it up and sell it. That's what I did for about 20 years in real estate. So make it a new space for a new family. And so being able to create a hotel with my dad and my sister is a dream come true.
Julie Tomich, Senior Vice President and General Manager, American Express.
I believe the role of a leader is to elevate the performance of everyone around them. So when we've achieved business success and I've helped other people achieve their potential or accomplish things that they never thought possible, that's when I've been the most proud.
Carla Vargas Llosa, President and CEO, Valley of the Sun United Way.
Doing internships with human rights organizations has always been a passion of mine because of my father's work against dictatorship in South America. And I thought I wanted to work in human rights law. But when I looked around when I was in college, I thought there were human rights issues all around us, ranging from homelessness to students not having equitable access to education. And that really inspired me to join United Way, to work in the nonprofit world, and to work for human rights issues that are plaguing our community here right now.
Monica Villalobos, CEO, Arizona Hispanic Chamber of Commerce.
Having children later in life really taught me the art of patience, certainly the art of negotiation, and being able to work with them and have them see a strong woman succeed and achieve. It's important to me that they know how to love strong women because they were raised by one.
Suzanne Wilson, President and CEO, Phoenix Symphony.
Is when I connect people from all walks of life to the performing arts, live performing arts. And throughout my entire career, that has been a consistent mission and value and incredible commitment of my own in order to make certain that everyone has the opportunity to experience the very best in music, dance, and theater.
Laura Warzilla, Executive Vice President and Chief Retail Officer, 1AZ Credit Union.
One of the things that has always interested me is this thirst for knowledge of other cultures and people and what makes them unique as individuals. And so anytime we travel internationally, we make sure to immerse ourselves into the culture of wherever we're at so that we can experience and see it really through their eyes. And how that's helped me professionally is it's enabled me to bring a passion for diversity to every job that I've ever had and every organization that I've ever worked for. And it really makes me self-aware as a woman and what it means to be a leader and how can I help support other women in leadership roles.
Daley Wright, Principal, Orcutt Winslow.
Becoming a principal at Orcutt Winslow last year, we went through a restructure, and I was one of 3 women in our firm that became principal, so I'm most proud of that.
Nancy Zeza, Divisional Chief Credit Officer, Alliance Bank of Arizona.
Giving back to the community, I mean the obvious of using your time and talents in organizations that need your assistance and then seeing them fulfill their mission. But like most things, the more you put in, the more you get out, and the things that I've gotten out from that volunteer experience has helped me in my career in just a number of ways. I mean, I've interacted with phenomenal leaders here in town and have learned a lot from them and have been able to apply that in my day-to-day job function. And the other thing I've gotten out of that, and that's helped me in my career, is just a broader perspective across the community and the needs in the community, and that helps guide what I do in my day-to-day career. So, I mean, I feel like everyone should sign up for volunteering in a not-for-profit and work on a board and serve on committees and give back.
Until we can get together in person and honor the most influential women in style, I'd like to take this opportunity to give them all a virtual round of applause. Congratulations to the class of 2020. Now, before we close the show, let's go back to Molina Fine Jewelers.
So ladies, we are at the pinnacle of having an opportunity to give away a piece of jewelry, and we've been doing this for many years, and we really enjoy it because it's something that lasts forever, and you'll always remember that you were selected because you are very special, and all of you deserve a piece of jewelry from Molina Fine Jewelers. So don't be shy, come and see me, and we'll see what we can do. But I'm going to pick a name right here, right now, and it's right here. All right, so now I just want to show you that I would like to give you this necklace. This is a necklace that took 30 years of sapphires to create. These are the finest Burmese sapphires in no heat. And it took 30 years to collect the sapphires, and it took 2 years to select the diamonds. And it's only $4.5 million. And I think that we should consider that someone should receive this because of all the great influence that you have in Arizona and how you change the world every single day, one jewel at a time. So what do you think, Miguel? Can we give this away?
Sir, I think you just grabbed the wrong necklace here.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to give these ladies a $4.5 million necklace.
You know, maybe the next time.
I can't give it away?
We'll take it right. No, you cannot. Not today.
I can't give it away.
There you go.
Young ladies, I am so sorry. My Chief Operating Officer, Miguel Ramirez, has been with me for a long time, and he doesn't want me to give away the necklace. So I will be happy to provide. This is what we're going to give away.
What we're giving away?
And what is this again?
That's a Prasiolite.
This is a Prasiolite, and it's got diamonds, and it's a beautiful piece. And so the winner is Morag Lucy, CEO of Televerde. Morag Lucy, CEO of Televerde, congratulations. Please come and see us, and we would love to show you around. And without any further ado, congratulations to all of you. You've all won, and we're very proud to be part of such a great organization and such a great amount of people that are doing the right thing, because at the end of the day, it's all about doing the right thing. We have a great country, and God bless all. Thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning in to honor this year's most influential women in Arizona. Be sure to check azbigmedia.com to read extended profiles of each of the women and to find out when the live event will happen in 2021.
We look forward to getting together with everyone in person next year to celebrate this year's honorees. Thank you.